easy place to discover, that's for sure. Well, let's go check to see if it's safe.
Traveler, wait. We've no time to lose. Let's head inside.
Rev the engines! Let's light it up!
The wind knows me.
Shake it out!
Teamwork is dreamwork! Huh?
As one with wind and cloud. Into the wind.
Rise with the sun!
It appears the mechanisms here have changed over time. You can access the upper floor through the side door. Perhaps you should try reactivating the mechanism over there.
Full throttle! Burn it down!
One with nature.
Think you can bully me?
Let's light it up!
Wind strike.
I'm going in! Rise with the sun!
Make sure all the runes are pointing in the direction indicated by the light. That should unlock the mechanism. door's open. Let's go. Our destination is just up ahead.
Looks like we can't go any further.
Be on your guard. I sense the presence of the abyss.
It's the Abyss Order! They're here! Shaken and stirred! Stay on us special!
Light it up! Teamwork is...
Rise high.
Breath of the sky! Light it up!
Inhaling your drink? Huh? Think you can bully me?
Everybody stand back! Let's lock! Full throttle! Light up the blazing sun!
Just as I suspected. The false memories were a trap. The Abyss Order just wanted to follow us here. Now that they're in the vicinity, we should have a chance to see.
Dane? What's wrong?
Can you feel that? There's been a disturbance in the ley lines. It must be the work of the Abyss.
Wow, you must be really sensitive to that sort of thing. Byron doesn't feel it.
You too. Do as I say. Use that mechanism over there and leave this place. The Abyss Order is putting something in motion. If you return to Vimara village, I suspect you might finally have the opportunity to locate the missing villager. Just think of it as a way to divide and conquer.
My life. Not all that significant, I'm afraid. You should have ignited. If only the Master of Coin had such power. If only. I owe you a significant debt. Our development. You secured her release when the Queen detained her. So that, of course, a simple misunderstanding. Apparently, Her Grace believed that you two had some sort of special relationship. We don't. I did fuck one. I know, but we don't. I know. How would we get that idea? Why don't you ask her? The advice would be on my position. Keep a low profile. If I undergo dragons, every time I have the joke, I think that you are rich tonight.
I knew going along with your trap would be the only way to meet with you face to face.
To be a challenge. I'm trying.
You risked your safety and that of the Eye. That's quite the gamble, Danesley. But I believe that I am the one walking into a trap laid by the Twilight Sword.
You cannot text billionaires.
So you came here all on your own? What about those followers of yours?
Your character, it might be, I mean, you know, picture of your
When the
character.
Twilight Sword is prepared for battle, any army I could send would only be marching to their doom. Better that I face you alone.
But I could see you being able to
you must have a lot to
and maybe
say.
not get recognized.
If it's a conversation you
People would
want,
say, oh my god, who's that beautiful?
you'll have to
They might
defeat
not
me
think you're really that
first.
police thing, you know?
No, I don't get recognized. Truly, it's Kit Harrington plays Jon Snow, or Gwen, who plays Brienne of Tarth, or something like that, and they will be people will be like, "Oh, can you take this picture for us?" And I'm like, "Sure, yeah, sure, yeah."
They use you, the camera.
The main ones are all
Nobody
black.
can do what they're doing. That's so insane.
No way. Yeah, it's quite. I like here, especially. I'll go into the I'll be like, "Kid, just be 1 minute. I'm just gonna go to the loo," and then I'll hear these girls being like, "Who is that girl that he's with?" And I was like, "Hey,
Hey, look at those hilly trails over there. Weren't they acting super agitated just a little while ago? Why are they so calm all of a
Let me
sudden?
guess. You're a magician.
In the new world, they bade farewell to the
What's
shrouded
wrong with
sun.
us? That's what's wrong with me. It's millions to live on. Yes, it's different. Sounds out. Imagine it was a kid that my father, man of crowd, strange and naive. I'll have a lot of money was lying. Clear on their course. Well,
At last, they no longer needed to dwell on their suffering, or try to differentiate between various thoughts of blasphemy.
and often in one period of time, you return it with interest. And what if I don't? What if I don't? This is why.
Such was the price they paid, and thus their souls became cleansed and pure.
We have learned millions. If we failed in his lips, then we'll find our names. They know where to get back.
Did you hear that? What was that sound just now?
Well, I'm practically skimming. Only time.
It sounded so gentle. Could that voice be comforting the hilly trails in some way? Oh, this is weird. Let's check if this is happening anywhere else.
It's not a story. It's the truth. King's grandfather tells a different story. The story about the jealous husband. It's tempting as ever for the Viking king. Lost the 7 kingdoms of Haley.
Looks like the same thing is happening over here too. The hilly trails are calm.
You see, we're both still here.
What's there to see? Books are filled with words like this.
We've reclaimed an endless amount of time to love.
Here, I'll look at the field with
Release your tears. You no longer need to hold back your sorrow.
How many fighting men remain loyal to you? 4,000. And how many ships do you have? The ones that floats the bells of the black water day. Good management, barley, small ships on practice delicate to seal 4,000 men. There's a difference. It's the way it's done.
Over there. It looks like they're sleeping.
In the end, he whispered, softly. Sleep well, Father, when you awake.
It almost sounds like a poem or some kind of story. Well, now that the hilly trolls have calmed down, Vimara Village should be safe at least. Let's put this situation to the side for now. Dane said this might be our chance to find the missing villager, so we should head back to Vimara Village before it's too late.
Rev the engines!
Grandpa Medea, is everyone all right? The Abyss Order seems to be up to something nearby.
The Abyss Order? This is the first I'm hearing of it. Thank you for your concern, but as far as I'm aware, it's been business as usual here in the village.
Well, that's good to hear. Oh, also, you didn't happen to come across any clues about the missing villager while we were gone, did you?
Someone's gone missing, you say? Who would that be?
Huh? You know, the young guy from Vimara Village. The one you've been looking for all this time. You posted a commission with the Sumeru Adventurers Guild. That's kind of the whole reason we're here, actually. Your missing persons commission.
Ah, I do apologize, you two. I hope I'm not worrying you too much. I'm sure it's just my age making me forgetful again. At least right now, I can't seem to recall whatever it is you're referring to. Perhaps you should try asking someone else.
But how is that?
Smart people don't
All right. Thanks for your help, Grandpa Amelia. Something's definitely not right. We just talked to Grandpa. What do you think, Traveler? Could everyone's memories of the missing villager have been erased again?
Now, how will this change? Okay,
When my boyfriend proposed to me, I was so
Alright.
excited.
We should
But
narrow
5
down the
months till the
possibilities
wedding,
first.
which the wedding is supposed to be tomorrow, he told me that he was having doubts and wanted to postpone the wedding. So I ended up just calling it off. He's been trying to contact me here and there. So I was just wondering why he wants to commit his life but not commit.
how old is he?
27.
Say, great. Now, you always know why he keeps contacting you.
Time to go.
Does he want you in his life? Does he have a job of his own? Come on. Does he have a say? Yeah. Come on. Is he ready to raise a family because he had a wife?
No.
Listen to me. Women have a
Someone's gone
biological clock.
Who?
Just as expected. That guy you said a bunch of nice things about earlier? The one you always used to chat with. He's around 20 years old, and you said he was a kind, warm-hearted person?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Really? You remember?
There aren't many young people who've earned that kind of praise from me. If you're certain that's what I said, then there's only one person who fits the bill. No doubt about it. But why'd you say he's gone missing? Yeah, I just saw him leave the village. There was someone else with him, too. They couldn't have gone far.
When a man finds out a woman cheated, his question is, did you have sex with him?
Strange.
When
Your
a
mom
woman
seems to
finds out
remember
her
him.
husband cheated,
And
her
apparently
question
he
is,
just saw
are you
him?
in love with her?
Do you think maybe it's not that there's
And that
something wrong
tells
with
you pretty
people's
much everything.
memories, but that we've somehow returned
So
to a
man's
time
like,
before
you
he
touched
went
my
missing?
property. Whereas with a woman, it's wait, you chose her. And why did you choose her? Is she better than you? Why is she better than you? Like, and that's where we're going. So, he's thinking, if I drop one of these, one comes back. If I drop two comes back. How many? Only 5 of them. Either you get 5 there.
Just like
Let's
what happened
suppose
with
I
Greater
dropped
Lady
3. Well, I just knocked them 2.
No one remembers
if I
them.
dropped 3.
because there's been a change in people's
Now,
memories.
if I dropped 4.
If we really did travel
Energy
back to a
out,
time before
energy
he
out,
disappeared,
energy back.
that could
And it's
explain why the
equal and
villagers
opposite.
said he hadn't
You
gone
ever
missing.
seen that? You should put it.
If
Okay.
this person
Well,
only
trust
exists
that.
in people's
If you're
memories,
happy with what you're
maybe
getting,
we're in
you
someone's
better
memory
focus on
right
what you're
now.
doing.
There's a woman in a room with 10 men, and all 10 of you sit within 25 feet of a high performer. Your own performance improves by 15%. Here's the kicker. If you sit within 25 feet of a
Strange.
Hey,
My mom
goats.
seems to remember him. And apparently he just saw him? Do you think maybe it's not that there's something wrong with people's memories, but that we've somehow returned to a time before he went missing?
Yes, 100%. Why would you want that? So if we were dating, you had slide in your DMs and he said, hey, this, would you respond to it? Tell him sorry, I'm a boyfriend. Boyfriend. Why do you say I'm talented?
time travel is extremely difficult to perform. The current situation probably has something to do with the disturbance.
Right! Paimon totally forgot about the leyline disturbances. We're in someone else's memory. Just like how you entered your sibling's memory last time.
Why should I be you?
That would also explain why we seem to be in a time before he went missing. It's a memory after all. Right. If he's someone who only exists in people's memories, then we're finally on the same turf.
Everything is an argument.
But didn't
Literally,
Baron
you
just
can't
say
even
that
have a
he saw him
conversation
leave
with
the
them
village with
without
someone?
them blowing up.
Where should we go look for
And
him?
I don't think it's got
Who
anything
knows
to do
how
with
long
the
this
conversation that
leyline
you're actually
disturbance is
having.
gonna
I think
last.
it's got to do
We
with
might not have
much
that much
deeper
time.
rooted issues.
Yeah, that'll help us
Not
narrow
even to
things
try and
down.
have a conversation.
We pretty much figured out that the missing villager has the ability to... Right! That! Can we try to figure out more about him using what we know of his ability? Like, does it maybe leave a trace that would...
All the memories seem to be set in or near Vimara Village. But I'm still not sure if they're restricted to this location. All the memories.
Yes, boss. Do you know why hugs are
All the
so...
memories seem to be.
Why do you want this job? No, I don't.
No. Based on what we know so far, there isn't any evidence to support that conclusion.
Specifically, I was referred.
There's a difference between memories that arise from lived experiences and those that are implanted into the mind.
Passionate about this
Maybe
industry.
not.
Appliances.
We don't have any way to prove whether certain memories were simply.
You know, I'm not sure if you'll be happy.
If time is allowed to pass within the false memories.
We're looking for someone who can excel
No
in something
wonder!
they
All this time
and the
and the
things that I enjoy
size
this
have
black
changed a
money,
bit.
not the other way around. Which is why I'm not sure if you're the right
Time
fit.
isn't passing.
No,
That's the tell of the fake memories.
Okay? If it's, I will work tirelessly.
The implanted
because if I
memories are
don't,
basically taking
I'll have
place
nowhere to live.
outside of the regular 24 hours of the day.
The answer we usually go for is I've always been interested in
If the
entering
memories
this
included the regular
how
passage
being
of time,
positioned in
it would be easy
business development
for
and better
people to tell that something was off. Like there could be overlap or something. People might start to wonder why they remember doing two different things at the same time of day. That's why he makes sure the memories take place at a specific moment in time rather than over a period of time.
So why do you want this job? The Satan is not against wolves. He's opposed to Jesus
Dainsworth had
Christ.
memories implanted into his mind.
Could
Could it be that it's happened more than once? No. We thought Chief
Sorry,
Medea
last time
forgot
we
it.
had a big Latin
No.
dinner slash despedido with friends was one of us.
Coincides.
Oh, right! That's exactly what Atosa described!
Come to think of it, every time we talked, it always seemed to be around dusk, just like right now. Time always passed by really slowly. Even when it felt like we'd been talking for hours, the sun would still be at the same position in the sky.
Yep, that has to be it! This is definitely Atosa's memory. Yeah, that's where they'll be.
Rise with the sun!
So, you see, Granny Jahiet was a mercenary when she was younger. She just talks like that out of habit. She's not trying to scare the children on purpose. Oh, there I go again. Always talking about my own things. Do you maybe have anything you want to share? It's okay if you don't. You could also just talk about what you think of me?
Oh, I think you're an incredibly strong. You'll meet many amazing people and live a very happy life. You won't miss someone like me.
Huh? Are those your friends over there?
お友達なんですね。男の人は恋愛対象に入りました。
Oh, right! This version of Atosa hasn't met us yet.
Friends? I guess you could say that. It must have taken them a lot of effort to find me. So, I should see what they need. I'm sorry, Atosa. We'll have to continue this conversation another time.
Another time, huh? Yeah, okay. I'll head back to the village then. talk to you some other time.
It's nice to see you, Traveler. I believe this is the first time we've met.
The founder of the... born in... You're... Kari Bear Alberic.
Oh. You know me? That's quite the surprise. I don't believe I've met you before. Oh, I see. It was the memory, wasn't it? Your sibling's memory. You saw... the me from back then. This is Atosa's memory. I came here to say goodbye to her. But I suppose I'll just leave her a message instead. Come, let's find somewhere else to talk. I suppose you could call it the realm of my consciousness. I'm someone who no longer exists in the real world after all, as you well know. It's nothing. I still have enough strength to play the part of a good host. I've always hoped that I'd get the chance to talk to you like this, and now, the time has finally arrived. Extreme sorrow and pain. Hope and regret coursing through your veins. And a degree of abyssal power that defies comprehension. Father told me that once I possessed all those elements, I would become the loom of fate. But despite his intentions for me, I never truly became the loom of fate. I was merely used as a means for its construction. In truth, I died the moment I set everything in motion. The person you see before you now is nothing but a remnant of consciousness left over within the loom of fate. As for your question, the Loom of Fate is a device capable of weaving ley lines. In its primitive form, it can only be used to create and implant memories. But, as more of it is completed, its power becomes stronger and stronger, until finally, it has the power to weave real ley lines of its own. Once fully completed, The moment it gains the power to weave ley lines, it loses the lower-level ability to influence memories. But it also becomes a tool that can change the entire world. Yes, I have the ability to control the loom in its semi-completed form. I suppose you can think of it as a form of compensation. After all, its existence cost me my life. Ah, that. I was wrong to implant those memories. I'm sorry I caused so much trouble. Not only for everyone in the village, but for you as well. I just wanted them to feel like I once existed in this world. As if I had a chance at life. I know what you must be thinking. Why would I do something so meaningless? But I just couldn't accept it. I had to know what it would be like if I had my own life. What kind of person I would be. What other people would think of me. Chief Ahmadiyya, Baram, Granny Jahiyat, Atosa. What would it be like if I could live alongside them? No cataclysm, no curse. Just a quiet life in a peaceful village. I was curious, so I selfishly tried to have my own life. Even if that meant piecing together the version of myself that could have been. One memory at a time. I know it sounds stupid. After all, my life ended a long time ago. Any chance at living was stripped away from me when I was 8 years old. My consciousness left to mature in an illusory world of nothingness. Even the form you see before you was nothing but an invention based on my father's appearance. An imagined version of what I would look like if I had the chance to grow up. I know. But there's nothing I can do to make them find me. If I could exist in the real world, I would return without a second thought and surprise them with the suddenness of it all. But, well, that's not possible for me. I know. Captain Dainsleif. Twilight Sword, you mean? No need to meet up with him. Exactly. As someone who could only exist in people's memories, the fact that I'm able to talk the Loom of Fate has already been completed. No need to worry about Captain Dainsleif. His plan was to lure. He would then hand that way. Captain Dainsleif could have. That's right. Because before you two entered that false location.
Traveler. We've no time to lose. Let's head inside.
That was when I implanted the memory of him given the tense situation. I'm sorry, I promise I'm not trying to conceal anything from you. But I truly have no idea what the Prince is planning. Tevat's ley line system is deeply entrenched in the planet. Creating new ley lines can neither replace nor extend the ones that, in the face of everything they could be planning, I fear I'm too insignificant to even get a glimpse of the bigger picture. In any case, I had my own use for the Loom of Fate, and my goal, at least, has been achieved. You remember my father, don't you? Clotar Alberic. I believe you saw him in your sibling's memory. After he used the power of the Abyss to restore consciousness to my hilichurl form, I suffered from an indescribable level of mental anguish. To comfort me, my father told me a story, that this was a fairy tale world where I had to take on the form of a little monster. That story managed to dispel my fears, even if just for a moment. My goal was simple, to use the Loom of Fate in its near-completed form, when its ability to create memories was at its strongest, to implant a specific memory into the minds of the hilichurls. In that memory, I would tell them a story, just like my father did for me. It was a story of fairy tales and love. But more than anything, it was the story. I can't change the world. Not when I lost the very right to exist within it. Implanting those memories, that was the most worthwhile thing I could offer. All that's left of my existence is a wisp of residual consciousness tied to the Loom of Fate. In truth, that trace of my consciousness should have dissipated long ago. My goal was the one thing that allowed me to hold on all this time. But now, the bedtime story is finished. And it's finally time to rest.
Looks like I was too late to see Kari Bear one last time. Kari Bear's consciousness is gone, and this space will soon disappear along with it. Neither of us belongs here. That's why we're not tangible. Were that not the case, I'd love to hug you too. Well, how about a conversation? The chance to just stop and talk like this is certainly not easy to come by. Wouldn't you agree? That battle earlier was tough. The one against Dane, I mean. I didn't expect that after everything, he would still hesitate to raise his sword against me. Were it not for that, perhaps I'd still be no match for the Twilight Sword. Even after 500 years. The Loom of Fate, huh? I still haven't found a way to utilize it to its full potential. But there's still time. Before the heavenly principles awaken. Yes, for 500 years now, ever since the cataclysm in Conria, there's been no sign of activity. Not long ago, you witnessed the Hydro Archon destroy her divine throne. Yes, such a flagrant disregard for the rules. And still Celestia took no action. I suppose that's proof enough of the Heavenly Principles situation. However, the Heavenly Principles will awaken. We just don't know when that will be, or what might trigger it. You could say that. Just look at Kari Bear. He was so pure and single-minded. The space we now find ourselves is a perfect representation of who he was. Quiet and peaceful, even as a hilly churl. Seeing the terrible sight within the mirror wasn't enough to taint his spirit. He brought comfort to the people of this world, even though he was denied the very right to be a part of it. So ask yourself this. Who was it that deprived him of that right to exist? Of course, that's only one example. My feelings about the Heavenly Principles are too complicated to explain in just a few words. Lumine?
You're the only one in this world who calls me that. There's so much I wanted to ask you. But for some reason, I'm not interested in asking those questions right now. There's just one thing I have to ask. One thing I could never understand. Why? Why can't we continue our journey together?
At the end of my journey, I arrived at a place known as the Sea of Flowers at the end. Do you remember? A long time ago, when we traveled between worlds together. You told me you wanted to find a place in the universe where that one flower was in full bloom. To have a place like that suddenly appear before me? Well, would you think of that as a coincidence?
You mean?
I miss you too, Lumine. But as this war continues to rage, and as I continue to seek that final answer, I don't even know how to face myself sometimes. Let alone my own sister.
What's going on?
This space has lost its tether. I doubt it'll be able to exist much longer. In fact, aside from our ability to physically interact with each other, there's something else you should know about this space. With Kari Bear gone, we won't be able to remember anything that happened here. Everything in this space will be wiped from existence, including all memory of our reunion.
You're only telling me this now?
Still so sleepy. Paimon's head feels all fuzzy. Oh, Paimon woke up a little earlier than you, so Paimon will fill you in. The villagers said that they saw us sleeping near the village yesterday. They couldn't wake us up no matter how hard they tried, so they decided to just bring us back here.